Hi everybody, I'm Jeff McCall. I'm a teacher for cst251 Web Tools, and I wanted to walk you through some of the outcomes of the class and what to introduce you to the class and to show you what you'll expect in the next 16 weeks. So I want to talk about the course outcomes. Of course, this is in the syllabus, and I want you to read the syllabus. Don't use this as a shortcut for not reading or an excuse for not reading the syllabus. I want to go over the 5 kind of outcomes of the class. So file management is number 1. What I really find is a lot of students will save their files just here and there to their desktop, to other folders, to a general, just everywhere. I'm guilty of it. I save things all over the place. It just doesn't work when you work with web programming. You have to keep a file structure set up correctly. You have to build a website in a folder. All the files will link to each other. They'll link to images. They'll link to style sheets. They'll link out to the web. So you've really got to focus on keeping that structure correct and in the right spot. When you're done building it on your desktop, you'll move it up to the server. The server will have the same file structure. You'll be able to just immediately go over to a browser, type in the web address, and it will work if you've done that, if you've done it correctly. So you'll save yourself a lot of heartache. You'll save yourself a lot of time and trouble if you really start by keeping your files organized. Don't ever fall into the risk or into the trap of saving a file to the desktop and saying, oh, that's good enough, and I'll get to it later. You have to just take the extra 1 second, put it in the right folder, in the right spot, and save it there. HTML5 is what we'll be programming in. HTML5 is really the 5th version of HTML. So if you've got some programming skills, if you've had HTML before, you may have kind of some base skills for what you need in this class. I really try to make this class work as it would work in a design studio using the most modern practices. So things have evolved over time using in HTML programming. I started in 1995 or so. And so things have been evolving over all of this time. I had to unlearn a lot of bad habits when I started doing web programming again. So hopefully that won't be the case for you. Hopefully you'll have a clean slate, or hopefully you'll be able to adapt quickly to HTML5. CSS is the design side of things. It's the code that you'll apply, and it will apply to the HTML, and it makes a web page. It makes a pretty web page, hopefully, or a well-designed web page, if nothing else. So that's the CSS. CSS libraries is the last thing, the 4th thing that you'll learn. And a CSS library is really a kind of repository for pre-made styles. So you'll take that style and you'll just apply it to your web page, and then modify that style to make the page look like you want. It lets you get away with using stuff that is really advanced. Of course, CSS can get really complicated. So let someone else do the work and just apply that style to your web page and modify it to make it fit your design skills and design style. So the library that we'll be using is Bootstrap, and if you have experience with Bootstrap, great. If not, you will by the end of this. The last thing is CSS theming. CSS theming is really, you take a WordPress website, and this just applies to a content management system. There are a lot of different web applications, content management systems, learning management system. iLearn is a learning management system. But what that really means is that you have this pre-built structure, and you're just working on the CSS. You're going to modify the theme of this dynamic website to make it look like you want to make it look, to match a design that's either someone has handed you in this case, or that you'll be able to design and make changes to. So it's really kind of an evolution of your skills, right? So you'll have basic HTML skills to be able to build the structure of the web page. You'll have some CSS skills to apply some basic styles to the web page, and then you'll be able to apply more advanced styles and even more advanced styles to the pages that you're working with. So hopefully it'll work out well as an evolution of your skills in this class. So how do you succeed in this class? Really, it's practice. This is learning a language. This is learning Spanish. This is learning Korean. You have to apply those skills that you learn and keep building on those skills. It's very much an evolution of this class, as you saw from the last slide. So you need to keep practicing. I hate to say this. I hate to say there's extra work to be done. I don't give extra credit. But if you're struggling, the best thing for you to do is to do extra work. If, say, do a couple extra pages to say, okay, I get this now, and try to make it work for you in applying some of those skills. If, of course, again, your skills are going to evolve. You've got to keep up. You can't skip things. You can't say, oh, well, I'm going to skip this assignment this week. Well, what happens when your boss at the web design studio asks you to do what I taught you that week? So come to class. I'm really pretty strict about attendance. I really want you to come all the time. If you've got this and if you're done, come and help other students. It really is going to help everyone in the class to kind of work as a community and build our skills together. So get help. Of course, I hold office hours. I like to think of them as tutoring hours. So come and get tutored if you've forgotten something, if you missed something, if you've come to class and you don't get the assignment or you don't understand the concept, come and hopefully I can explain it another way. Talk to your classmates, of course. Go online, look at things like Stack Overflow, look at Google. The thing that I try to teach is really to learn the syntax of web programming, of how or what questions to ask. I know that Google can't solve all of your problems, but there's a ton of information out there, and really knowing to ask the right questions will get you through this. This is how I work every day when I'm programming for the web. There are certain concepts that I still Google every time to use it, and I use it once a month, and I just refuse to learn it because I've got Google. But I know what to ask. I guess that's the point, is that you're going to need to learn what to ask as well. So, of course, philosophy, this is a skills-based class, so you're going to spend a lot of time learning the nuts and bolts of HTML and CSS. You'll apply some of your design skills, but most of the design side of things will be done for you. So it really is just getting to know HTML and practicing those skills. I approach the class like a work environment. I don't call my boss by his last name. I don't call him Mr. So-and-so. I expect that's kind of the same expectation I have in my class. I'm really there as a guide. I'm not there as the glowering professor who knows everything. There's always things to learn. So you can call me Jeff, you can call me Mr. McCall, whatever you're comfortable with, but really think of it as a work environment. And in any work environment, I expect everybody to treat each other equally and with mutual respect. So I want, hopefully we can all work together and respect each other and learn from each other as well as from me. So everyone has some skills to bring to this party, and I'm hoping that you'll kind of step outside yourself. When I was in college, it was very easy to just work in my own little bubble and not really seek out help. And I suffered for it, and I don't want you to suffer for it. I want you to kind of seek help. Look at the Campus Learning Center is another big one. I think I already covered that, but that's mainly it. So we'll have fun. It's a lot of work, but hopefully we'll work together and get through this.